Hello, Vanessa Vega, an Edutopia research analysis said, "At the heart of effective technology integration, technology offers opportunities to be more actively involved in the learning experience." Oftentimes, when a teacher tries to implement technology into the classroom, it can either feel overcomplicated and time-consuming, or way oversimplified and unnecessary. As educators, we should be seeking to use technology in a way that allows students to become more actively involved, rather than in a way that distracts or takes away from the learning experience. One technology that I've noticed in my placement classroom that seems to do this well is Notability. Notability is a note-taking app that students can use on their iPads in a one-to-one iPad classroom. The way that the app is set up is that they have dividers, and within those dividers they can add subjects. This allows the students to remain organized in their note-taking and to have everything separated into their classes. The notes can be taken on either blank pieces of paper, lined paper, or graphing paper, and the paper itself can be multiple different colors or patterns, which allows this app to be interesting and aesthetically pleasing while also being practical for many different types of classes. The toolbar has lots of options for ways that this app can be used. There's a share, print, and email section of the toolbar so that if the students do need a hard copy, they are able to do that, or if they need to share their notes with a classmate who wasn't there that day, or if they need to email them to a teacher to prove that they were paying attention, they can do all of those things. They have two main ways that they can take the notes, and that's through different types of pencils. Essentially what it is that there's a sensitive pencil and a consistent pencil. So the sensitive pencil will monitor how hard the students are pressing on the iPad, and it will change the thickness and thinness of the lines to correspond to their pressure, whereas the consistent pencil will remain the same regardless of how hard the students are pressing on the iPad. There are many other functions within the toolbar, such as a highlighter, eraser, scissors, which allows the students to cut and move their notes. There's also the opportunity for them to add things like pictures and drawings and GIFs and all kinds of things that can really make note-taking a more holistic and engaging experience for the students in ways that taking notes on paper actually doesn't allow them to do. One of the most helpful sections of Notability and of the toolbar is the microphone option. So this is a part of the app where they can record the lecture or the discussion or whatever is being said, and the app will actually transpose what is being written and will write it down so that the students can then go back and they can write what was written, and they can scrub to different parts of what was said so that if they really didn't understand something or if they didn't quite catch what was said, they can re-listen to it. And I think this part of the app would be extremely beneficial for ELL students or for students who have just some difficulties with understanding certain types of learning, whether that's a lecture they struggle with or discussion they struggle with. The app can be used for many ways in teaching. It can be used for lecture note-taking. It can be used for discussion note-taking. It can also be used for annotating texts. So if the students are in an English classroom and they need to analyze a piece of poetry, they can very easily annotate directly on their iPads, and they can easily share that with others in their group or within their class, and they can also show that work to the teacher in a very easy, hassle-free fashion. You can also use it for graphing due to the graph paper, so it could be used in math or science classrooms, and it can be used for drawing if they need to add some kind of illustration to whatever it is that they are taking notes on. It's a diverse app that can be used in many content areas within the school, which is super helpful because it's not limiting to the one classroom, but they can use it for all of their classes. Notability manages student learning in three main ways. The first way is that it really helps the students in organizing their notes. Organization is a skill that a lot of students really need help building, and having them use Notability would give them the chance to practice that better organization. It would also help them to practice organizing things within technology. A lot of students know how to organize a physical binder, but they don't know how to organize their Google Docs. And having them practice with this kind of app would build that technological skill that they're going to need post high school and in the future work world or college world or however it is that they decide to go after school. The second main way is easy turn-in and review for the teacher. So rather than students, saying, oh, I lost my homework, sorry, or it fell out of my binder or whatever, everything is available to them on this app, and they can easily turn it into the teacher, which allows the teacher to review their work and be more effective and efficient in getting it back to them as well. The third way that it helps manage student learning is, again, just in that awesome support system for ELL, IEP 504, and other students who just need that extra support and that extra help and ability in their note-taking and in their learning, especially with that microphone feature. I think that if that is something that can practically be used in a classroom, it could be extremely beneficial. It can also be helpful for students who struggle with writing and with taking notes and studying in that way, because it allows them to really do things more digitally, and they could type if they need to. And they can also study easier, which helps manage their learning as well, because their notes are organized, and within their notes they can search for specific things. So if they know, man, this one part of this story or this lesson or this function of math that they don't understand, they can just search it and find it in their notes instead of having to leaf through all of their notes from their giant notebook and find it. Many apps and websites can be used within the classroom, and some of them enhance and some of them hinder learning. Notability is an app that would give students a chance to actively engage in their note-taking, in their annotating, in their graphing, in their drawing, and illustrations. It provides support for ELL students and other students who have just various needs and need that extra support within the classroom. And it provides all students with the ability to build organizational skills and study habits. Notability is an app that, in the end, enhances student learning and better engages them in the content of the class.